Welcome back, friends. Have I got a wonderful recipe for you today? We are going to make some flatbreads, some Turkish type flatbreads, pita breads, whatever you want to call them. They're not quite pita bread because pita bread's a little drier. But anyway, we're going to make these. They're super easy. We're going to need 2 cups of flour. I'm using wheat flour today. Usually I use all-purpose flour, but I have this wheat flour I need to get used up, so we're going to get through it. 2 cups of flour, about a heaping teaspoon of yeast or a half a packet of yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a half a teaspoon of salt, a couple teaspoons of oil. I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use vegetable oil, any oil you want, really, you can use for this recipe. Olive oil works fabulous. And about 2/3 a cup of water, and that's it. I'm going to start by measuring my 2 cups of wheat flour into the bowl. All right, in my bowl I have 2 cups of flour. To it, I'm going to just put my salt, my half a teaspoon of salt, around the outer edge there. In the very center, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. And then, like I said, a little heaping teaspoon or half a packet of yeast. And then on top of that, I have 2/3 a cup of warm water, about as warm as you would make a baby bottle, okay? So we're going to let that just sit in there. I'm going to let that sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, you can see the yeast is starting to bloom. It's only been about 3 minutes. We don't have to let this sit for a long time. And I'm going to start mixing it together. I like to use a glove because it can get messy and sticky, and then I don't have to worry about that. So we're going to mix this all up into a shaggy dough. All right, friends, I've mixed it all by hand. It's a shaggy dough, and now we're going to start adding oil. I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon, and then stir it a little, and then we'll add another. Let's get about 1 tablespoon in there. And then we're going to mix it together. I can already tell we will need the 2nd tablespoon, so let's just go ahead and put that in right now too. And we are just going to mix this and knead it all together. All right, friends, I kneaded this only for about a minute, okay? It's a nice pliable dough, and I want to give you a little bit of advice. Here today, it's very cold and very dry, all right? If you get past that first point where you've added your water and your dough is not shaggy, like there's too much flour left in the bowl, just add a little bit more water, about a tablespoon at a time, until you get that shaggy consistency. Now you can see after a minute of kneading with the 2 tablespoons of oil, I have a really nice dough. It doesn't stick to anything. So what I'm going to do is just put it in a little ball here. Doing everything with one hand, so it's a little harder. We'll just put a little bit of oil. Get it kind of rubbed around in there. And now I'm going to put a lid on this bowl, and I'm going to let it sit until this almost doubles in size. I don't know how long that's going to take for me today, but it's usually between 30 minutes to an hour. All right, friends, let's take a look at this dough. It's been about 45 minutes. Oh, more than doubled in size. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. And there we have it. We're going to turn it into a more uniform ball. I'm trying to do this with one hand. And then we're going to cut this thing into 8 pieces. I find that with 2 cups of flour, 8 pieces is the absolute perfect amount. So, cut your dough ball in half. I'm going to put one to the side, and we're going to start on this one first. We're going to cut it in half, and then each piece in half. Now, I take these and I roll them over several times, turning them into a ball, and I will use 2 hands, which will be easier, but I want you to see how I I do fold them over. You're creating layers and little pockets within the dough, and this really makes a difference to have them puff up, okay? So then you get your little ball, nice little ball, and then what I like to do is just pat it down a little, like that, and then I'm going to transfer it and just have it sit in my pan. Let me do the rest of them. Right, here they all are, and meanwhile I do have a skillet. This is a cast iron skillet, but it does not have to be cast iron. You can use absolutely any type of skillet you want for this. You need a medium-high heat. You need this pan hot. I'm not going to add any oil to my pan. Some people do. I prefer not to because we're going to butter them up really good when they're done. Okay, let's get one of our dough balls. I did put a little flour here just in case they start to get sticky, but you know, I don't think they're going to. I pat it out a little with my hands first, and usually I have two hands in the process, but I've only got one hand to show you. But we're going to roll this out. Yeah, it's not going to need any flour. Go one direction and then the other, and then you can kind of look for spaces that are too puffy. That looks good. I don't mind that it's asymmetrical and not perfectly round. This is perfect. It actually makes them feel more authentic. See how it peels right up off? Place it on your skillet, your hot skillet. I heard a little sizzle. We are going to watch this. I already see, do you see right here, little bubbles popping up? That's good. When you first put it on, you just let it sit there for a minute, okay? Watch for the bubbles to come up. You can press them a little. There's one right here. That's why we make the balls and fold them over, fold them over. All right, let's give this a flip. Oh, look at that. Is that beautiful? Now, on this side, we just leave it just for a minute. Kind of press on it lightly, and you'll see it bounces back up because it's going to fill with air. Now we're going to flip it back over. Look at that. Okay, this one's done. I'm going to put a little butter on it. Now I'm putting some butter on it. See, those are still kind of filled with air. Oh, this is going to be so delicious. I'm going to stack them underneath a little towel and get the rest of them done. Sometimes they puff up real good like this, and this is great because the steam is actually cooking it from the inside. This is going to be a great one. One more to go. Here we have them. They're all finished, all 8 of them, and this is our bread for Sabbath, so we'll probably each have 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow. It's the perfect amount for 2 days worth, and let me show you. They're very hot, but see how soft and pliable they are. I'm telling you, they're delicious, and you can get really creative on the butters also. I usually do like a chive and onion butter, those kind of things when I want something savory, but I'm not really sure what we're going to be eating these with. That's why I only did the butter. So to keep them fresh, I'm going to let them cool completely, and then I'm going to wrap this little towel around them and probably just put them in a paper sack because that's how I normally do that, all right? And they stay perfectly fresh. You can reheat them in the oven, in the microwave, on the stove, however you wish to do so. They do open up like a pocket, like pita bread, so you can make a sandwich inside of them, a taco. The possibilities are endless. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this week's Flour It Up video. I know it's been a while, but I am back to making my Flour It Up videos. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe and share, and we're going to be talking to you really soon. God bless and keep every single one of you.